Okay, so today we're going to work on two things. We're going to create hyperlinks, which is what makes the internet actually work, the ability to click on some highlighted text and go to a different page. And we're also going to create links that allow you to attach photos. So we're going to start off with hyperlinks. And before we do that, I want to note that I've made some changes to the phone numbers that we're using. I wanted to make sure that they were more accurate and maybe not accidentally click them and be calling people. So the first number has been changed to 030-306-41768, which is actually the phone number for the Bauhaus Museum in Germany. I just thought it'd be useful to show you what a non-standard, a European phone number looked like. Okay, secondly, I changed the second number to 617-555-1212, which in the US is just a generic non-working number. Okay. Next. What I want to do is we're going to start off when we're creating hyperlinks with creating some hyperlinks that allow us to navigate around this page. We have two sections. We have a biography section and we have a project section. And so we're going to start off with creating some links that will take us there. And then we're also going to, once we've taken those links down into the page, we want to be able to get back to the top. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off. What you'll find is we have some ways of customizing our elements in HTML. And so one of the ways we can do it, there are two things that we can use to customize them. We can use something called IDs, and IDs are something that can only be used once, a single time on a page. There are also something called classes that can be used many times. Since we're actually trying to go to a specific location, it would be better to use an ID to identify these locations so that the link isn't confused about where it needs to go. It only has one place it can go on the page. So I'm going to start off by typing body ID equals, and then we have quote marks, and I'm having trouble remembering to go back, but hopefully I'll get better at it. So now between the quotation marks, we're going to type top. And so we've just created an ID called top. Anytime we create a hyperlink and tell it to go to top on this page, it will take us back to this body, the top of this body element, which would be the top of the page. Okay. Secondly, and so why not? We're going to go underneath biography, and I'm going to create a paragraph element. And I'm going to then create a hyperlink. Hyperlink is commonly a href equals and we have a quote mark. And then, so when we initially set up the ID here, it's called ID. When we reference it in a hyperlink, we use a number sign. So number sign top, quote, close. And then I'm going to type. And so we have the beginning of the tag for the AHREF. And then we have the closing tag. And then we actually have to type in something. So I'm going to type in top. And so that will be the element that the tag is wrapped around. And so that'll be the element that shows the link. And then I'm going to just copy this whole thing right here. Open paragraph, open the hyperlink. The hyperlink's wrapped around top. Then we close the hyperlink and we close the paragraph. And I'm going to copy all of that. And I'm going to go down to underneath projects. And I'm going to paste a copy of that. And I'm going to save it. And before I do anything more, I'm going to save this file, save as. And I'm going to save this as Gropius 2.2, HTML, save. Okay. One thing I'm going to note over here is that next to the name of the file, it actually gives you a list of problems with this file. We have a couple of things going on. One, I've got this outline, 1 pixel solid red, which I used last class. Since I deleted the asterisk in front of it so that it wouldn't work, it's now telling me that there's 3 errors there. And I know about them. I'm not going to worry about them. Also, there's some more places where figure captions are placed. It should be 4 of them, right, in this document. And figure captions are supposed to be wrapped within figures. We haven't done that yet, so that's showing up as an error. But we're not going to worry about that. And notice that these are all underlined. And I talked last class about installing extensions. So last class, we installed HTML validate and what it does, and HTML hint. And what they do is they actually look for errors. And so that's a good idea to install those because they give us these nice underlines and tell us when there's problems. And then we scroll over them and it tells you what the problem is. So I'm going to go to Google. Oh, it's the right page. It is the right page. So you can see that we added top right here. And we added top right here. And so if I scroll to here and I click top, it takes us back up to the top of the page. So again, I go there, click top, takes us back to the top of the page. So we know that those hyperlinks actually work. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to add our navigation. So navigation is essentially a list of links. And so the way that navigation is generally handled in HTML is that we've decided that we're going to create an unordered list. To create an unordered list, I'm going to come down under body and I'm going to type less than UL greater than and hit a return. In between that return, I'm going to create an LI, a list item. And inside that list item, I'm going to create a hyperlink, a href equals quote. Right, okay. And so we're going to create an ID of biography, which we haven't installed yet. And then I'm going to close that. And then I'm going to type biography. Okay, so that's our link for the biography section. And then I'm going to type another LI. Inside of that, I type in a href equals quote $sign projects quote close, like that. Okay, so those are the two links that we've created. Now we need to, so before we created an ID up here for body, now we need to create an ID for biography and an ID for projects down in our document. I'm going to go to the H3 for biography and add an ID equals biography. Note that you want to make sure that if this is all lowercase, that this is then all lowercase. Links are actually case sensitive. And now I'm going to go, I still need to do one for projects, so I'm going to scroll down to projects, and I'm going to go ID equals projects, and I'm going to save. And then I'm going to go back to my Google Chrome, hit refresh. And now you'll see that I have a list of links. And if I click biography, it takes me to biography. If I click top, it takes me back. If I click projects, it takes me to projects. And if I click on top, it takes me back. Okay. So nice, simple little navigation for a one-page website. Next, share. Next, we have a series of links that we need to add in here. We have links for phone numbers. We have links for an email. We have links for a website. And then there's some more website links in our document. So we're going to start off by creating a telephone number. So the link, so we're using a href equals projects for a standard hyperlink for a telephone number. This is going to be a href equals quote tel for telephone colon and that's our phone number. I'm going to put a quote on the end of that, and I'm going to put a greater than on the end of that. And then I'm going to just copy this, Command V. And you'll notice that there's an underline under here, under the dash. And if I scroll over in HTML validate, it says the dash character should be replaced with ampersand number 8209 semicolon, which is a non-breaking hyphen. They prefer non-breaking hyphens so that if the line gets short enough and the text has to break from one line to the next, that the phone number isn't broken across the line and be difficult to read and understand. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go like that. And so now we have a non-breaking hyphen in the phone number. Okay. And it's handy that it's part of this program because I'm not yet, don't have a non-breaking hyphen code memorized, and I may never memorize it. So, all right. We have another phone number, a href equals quote greater than, and it closes it. And I forgot to add tell there, like that. And now I'm going to copy phone number, paste it in here so that it is accessible. Copy the non-breaking hyphen and pasting it there, pasting it there. Okay, and so now we have working phone numbers. If I hit Command Save and I go back to Google Chrome and I hit refresh, you'll see these phone numbers now have active links. And if I click on it, it asks me if I wanted to open FaceTime and then make a phone call. So I'm going to cancel that because I don't really need to. And then we're going to go back. Okay, next we have an email, and it is structured similarly to how we structured this telephone. So a href equals quote, but instead of tell, we put mail, like that. Close it with a quote, close it with a greater than. And I'm going to just copy the email, Command V. So now we have a working email. And then very similarly to this href, we're going to put a standard hyperlink here. A href equals quote, close quote. And then what I'm going to add is if I just created this exactly like this and I clicked on this link, what would happen is that the page that I'm on would be replaced with the page that's connected to this link. But that's not always a good thing. If, for instance, you have a link on your web page and you're selling a product and you have a link, to go check out the manufacturer's page, and your page is replaced with the manufacturer's page. People might not remember to come back to your page again. So we have a way of opening up a new window and having that filled with the page we're linking to. And to do that, I'm going to go to target equals quote underscore blank and then greater than, and then and then there's actually an error here because so this is not a complete link and wouldn't probably work. So what we're going to do is type https:// okay. And next, and we're going to copy some of this. We don't really need to copy the HTTPS for our link because people will understand what it is by its general nature. And it's not required for the link to work for the HTTPS to be here. In fact, we could write something completely different like Walter Gropius on Wikipedia, and that would in fact work just fine as long as this link is correct. And we hit save. And we go back here. We hit refresh. Notice those links are now active. If I click on the email, oh, really? Now I've got to find out what's wrong with that link. Excuse me, I'm going to try this one. And this one takes me to Walter Gropius. And I go back. And let me double check this. Okay, the problem is that it's not actually just mail, it is actually mail to. So if I type to and I save, so mail to waltergropius.com. And now I go back, share, refresh. This is why it's a good idea to go back and check your work after you've done it. Now, if I click Walter Gropius, you can't see it. Share. Share. You'll see that I get an email all ready to go. And let me cancel this. Well, let me go back. Okay. Code. All right. So those are three major types of hyperlinks. We have a telephone hyperlink, we have mail to hyperlink, and we have a standard hyperlink that takes you, in this case, to a different page and actually opens up a new page. Okay, next, we're going to scroll down, look for the next hyperlink. So we have a hyperlink here. a href equals target equals quote underscore blank, close. I'm going to copy some of the link. And then that closes. So that one's done. Scroll down. We have a hyperlink here. Scroll down. Oops. Target equals quote underscore blank. Again, this could be shortened if I wanted to. Also notice that there is an ampersand 20 right here. That means that somebody who was naming their files on the internet allowed a space to creep into their file names. And so that shows up there. Okay, we have another hyperlink. A href equals target equals quote underscore blank. And I think there's just one more right here. A href equals quote target equals quote underscore blank. And V. We save. We go to our document. We hit refresh. We have a link here. We check it. Notice we get a new window. Go here, click link. Okay, so I missed one there. I'm going to go back, share. Blank. See, that's the one I missed. Equals underscore blank. Oops. There, it's fixed. Save. We don't have any additional errors on this page. That's always a good thing. Command save, new share. Hit refresh. Decibel house goes to there and it opened a new window. Click here, Propius house. Click here. This is information about a photographer. And then finally, MetLife there. And so all those links work and they all open in new windows. And so again, it's always good to go back and check your code. And so that's an introduction to hyperlinks.